Did you know that a small handful of seeds you probably already keep in your kitchen can provide up to 7 times more calcium than a full glass of milk? Surprising, isn't it? We often see these tiny seeds sprinkled on bread, in pastries, almost as decoration, without realizing the treasure they hold. And it's not just about the calcium, which is already impressive. Unlike milk, which can sometimes leave you feeling bloated, gassy, or with a heavy stomach, this little powerhouse is digested with ease, even past 60, when the body tends to be more delicate. Think about it. If you've been worrying about brittle bones, if climbing stairs already feels like a challenge, or if the fear of a fall has begun to linger in your mind, then this message is for you. Because in just a few minutes, I'll reveal a natural, science-backed strategy that I share with my own patients to build what I call golden skeletons well into old age. It's far simpler than you think, yet the results are incredibly effective. Hello, my dear friends. I'm Dr. Amy Myers, clinical nutritionist. For over 15 years, I've had the privilege of helping patients protect and restore their health through food. And believe me, I've seen firsthand how osteoporosis, the silent thief, gradually robs people of their mobility and independence. Many of them placed all their trust in milk as their only source of calcium, never realizing there were other, sometimes far better, options. That's why I'm so excited to share with you today the tiny seed that has restored strength, confidence, and peace of mind to hundreds of my older patients. Its name? Sesame, also known as ahon-holi. But I don't just want to tell you its name, I want to show you why it's so extraordinary. You'll discover the fascinating science behind this seed, the correct way to prepare it so your body absorbs every bit of its power, and 3 simple, practical ways to start using it today without drastically changing your routine. And that's not all. Stay with me until the end because I have 2 special gifts for you. First, I'll reveal a secret combination with another seed that creates a powerful synergy, almost like a natural formula, to supercharge your bones. Second, I'll teach you a quick 5-minute daily exercise that will help improve your balance and dramatically reduce the risk of falls. The very thing most seniors worry about. Are you ready to strengthen your bones and walk through life with more confidence? Then let's dive into this fascinating journey together. 1. Why milk alone no longer works. Let's be honest. Once we cross the age of 50, and sometimes even earlier, our body begins to follow a new script. Bone density, that hidden shield that keeps our skeletons strong and resilient, starts declining at a much faster rate. This isn't a small matter. The numbers speak loudly. About 1 in every 2 women and 1 in every 4 men will suffer a fragility fracture at some point in life. Just picture that. A reality we rarely think about until a sudden fall or injury forces it into focus. The instinctive response, almost like a cultural slogan, has always been, drink more milk to protect your bones. For generations, milk has been linked with calcium, strength, and growth. But here's the catch. As the years go by, our body simply doesn't process milk the same way it once did. Roughly 65% of adults over 60 produce less of an enzyme called lactase, the very enzyme responsible for breaking down lactose, the natural sugar in milk. Without enough lactase, lactose ferments in the gut instead of being digested properly. And the result? Bloating, uncomfortable gas, cramping, or even diarrhea. Beyond the discomfort, here's the real paradox. Poor digestion means calcium absorption drops. In other words, the very mineral you're drinking milk for doesn't even get absorbed efficiently. But that's only the beginning. Let's go a bit deeper. Yes, milk contains calcium, about 120 milligrams per 100 milliliters. On paper, that sounds like a lot. The problem is that milk also brings along phosphorus. And while phosphorus is important, when the calcium-phosphorus ratio isn't ideal, or when other key players like vitamin D and magnesium aren't present, phosphorus can actually block calcium from being fixed into bone. Think of calcium arriving at the construction site, but with no proper scaffolding or cement to hold it in place. And if that weren't enough, there's a third problem. Several studies from Nordic countries, where dairy intake is among the highest worldwide, show surprisingly high rates of osteoporosis and fractures. Contrast that with parts of Asia, where dairy has never been a central food, but diets are rich in seeds, greens, and plant-based minerals, and osteoporosis rates are far lower. So what's the lesson here? It's not just about the amount of calcium you swallow, but how much your body truly absorbs, retains, and locks into your bones. And this is where our star player enters the scene, the tiny seed with the power to flip the script and protect your skeleton naturally. Stay with me, because what comes next may completely change the way you think about bone health. 2. The star seed, sesame, ajonjoli. Now let's shine the spotlight on our real hero, sesame, or as many know it, ajonjoli. What I'm about to tell you may truly surprise you. Just 100 grams of dry sesame seeds carry an astounding 975 milligrams of calcium. To put that into perspective, that's like drinking nearly 7 glasses of milk, but in a small handful of tiny seeds. Amazing, right? This little seed is nothing short of a compact calcium powerhouse, a treasure chest of nutrition waiting to be unlocked for your bones. But here's the important detail. Before you run to eat a spoonful of raw sesame, you need to know this. Sesame seeds naturally contain phytates, compounds that act like mineral thieves. They bind up calcium, zinc, iron, and other nutrients, locking them away so your body can't absorb them. Imagine standing in front of a treasure chest, but with no key to open it. The nutrients are there, but trapped. So, what's the secret? Here's where traditional wisdom comes in handy. The trick is simple, but highly effective. Lightly toast the seeds or grind them right before eating. Gentle heat from toasting reduces phytates, freeing the minerals, while grinding cracks the tough outer shell, exposing the nutrient-rich core to your digestive system. This process dramatically boosts calcium absorption from about 10% to nearly 35%, a level that actually competes with and often beats the calcium your body gets from milk. In just a few minutes of preparation, sesame transforms from ordinary to extraordinary. And sesame doesn't stop with calcium. It also delivers magnesium, which works alongside calcium to strengthen bone tissue, zinc for density and repair, and copper, vital for collagen production, the protein scaffolding that gives bones resilience. On top of that, sesame provides selenium, a powerful antioxidant protecting bone cells from damage. Without strong collagen, bones become fragile like glass, but sesame offers the building blocks to prevent that. Even better, sesame contains unique compounds called lignans, which fight inflammation and help protect joints and cartilage. This makes them especially valuable for people with arthritis or osteoarthritis. In fact, a recent study on older adults with knee osteoarthritis found that eating just 40 grams of sesame paste daily for 2 months reduced pain by 38% and improved mobility significantly. That's huge for something so small. So how much do you really need? The good news is, not much. Just 2 tablespoons of ground sesame, about 20 grams, cover nearly 30% of the daily calcium requirement for seniors. That's more than enough. And because sesame is high in healthy fats, moderation is key. A small, consistent amount works best without piling on unnecessary calories. Now let's get practical. How do you prepare it to make it fully bioavailable? Very simple. Warm a dry, nonstick pan over medium heat. No oil needed. Add the sesame seeds and stir constantly with a wooden spoon for 2 to 3 minutes. You'll notice a warm, nutty aroma similar to popcorn and a light golden color. That's the sign they're ready. Just don't let them burn. Let them cool, then grind briefly in a coffee grinder, small blender, or mortar and pestle. You're aiming for a coarse powder, not a fine flour, so the oils don't release too quickly. Store the powder in a tightly sealed glass jar at room temperature. For best results, use within 3 to 5 days to keep the flavor and nutrients fresh. So simple, yet so powerful. A humble seed turned into a reliable daily ally for stronger bones, healthier joints, and lasting independence. 3. Other seeds that add up. Even though sesame takes the crown when it comes to calcium, there are other seeds that absolutely deserve recognition for their impressive nutritional punch. One of the most remarkable is chia. Just 2 teaspoons carry about 180 milligrams of calcium, but that's only part of the story. Chia is especially prized for its alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a type of omega-3 fat the body can't make on its own. This compound acts as a natural anti-inflammatory, easing joint discomfort and at the same time supporting brain and heart health. On top of that, chia seeds supply boron, an often overlooked mineral that plays a key role in helping calcium bind to bone tissue, almost like a spark that activates the process. Using chia is easy. Simply soak a tablespoon in half a glass of water for 10 to 15 minutes until it forms a gel. That gel can be stirred into yogurt, mixed into porridge, or blended into smoothies. Along with calcium and omega-3s, you also get a rich dose of fiber that keeps digestion moving smoothly. Next up are poppy seeds, which surprise almost everyone. Believe it or not, 100 grams of poppy seeds provide around 1,148 milligrams of calcium, surpassing even sesame. That makes them tiny but mighty calcium boosters. The challenge is their size, since it's hard to eat them in large quantities. Still, their delicate, nutty taste pairs beautifully with both sweet and savory recipes. You can sprinkle a teaspoon onto salads, add them to homemade bread or muffins, or even use them as a topping for yogurt. It's a subtle but effective way to slip more calcium into your meals. We also have flaxseed or linseed, which, while not as rich in calcium as sesame or chia, makes up for it with an abundance of lignans and omega-3 fats. The true magic comes when flax is combined with sesame. Grinding them together boosts nutrient absorption and creates a synergy that enhances the calcium and mineral benefits. A mix of 2 parts sesame to 1 part flax works beautifully, balancing healthy fats while unlocking the maximum bioavailability of both seeds. It's like having 2 superheroes teaming up for the same mission, keeping bones strong and resilient. And while they're not as calcium heavy, don't overlook pumpkin and sunflower seeds. Pumpkin seeds are a wonderful source of zinc, essential for bone density and tissue repair, while sunflower seeds provide magnesium and vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that helps protect cells. The real secret, as always, is variety. By rotating and combining these different seeds, you're giving your body a complete package of minerals, vitamins, and good fats that act together to protect your bones, joints, and overall vitality. 4. How to add seeds into your routine without even thinking about it. One of the best parts of working with seeds like sesame, chia, flax, or poppy is how easily they slip into meals without demanding extra effort. Eating them doesn't have to feel like a health chore. Instead, they can quietly boost your nutrition while blending right into foods you already love. Let's look at some simple, tasty ways to weave them into your daily life almost without realizing it. Starting your morning with a spoonful of ground sesame is a habit that quickly becomes second nature. Try sprinkling it over your toast with jam, stirring it into oatmeal, or blending it into your morning cereal. The nutty aroma of lightly toasted sesame is mild and won't overwhelm the flavor or texture. Some patients even stir it into their plant-based lattes or morning porridge, an effortless calcium boost before the day even begins. Smoothies are another golden opportunity. Whatever your go-to blend, banana, spinach, oats, almond milk, or a dash of cinnamon, just slip in 2 tablespoons of the sesame flax mix. It disappears seamlessly, leaving no lumps or off flavors, but delivers calcium, omega-3s, and fiber in every sip. If you usually rely on cow's milk, experiment with almond, oat, or rice drinks instead. They're gentler on digestion and help ensure your nutrients are absorbed more effectively. For lunch or dinner, salads and vegetables offer endless possibilities. A trick my patients adore is making a simple vegan parmesan. Blend 4 tablespoons of toasted sesame, whole or ground, depending on your texture preference, with a pinch of sea salt, oregano, and garlic powder. In seconds, you'll have a savory topping to sprinkle over salads, steamed veggies, or even whole grain pasta. It's crunchy, flavorful, and packed with bone-loving nutrients. Soups and sauces also welcome seeds beautifully. A teaspoon of ground sesame stirred into a warm pumpkin soup, tomato cream, or lentil stew right before serving adds a delicate creaminess while secretly upgrading the nutrition. The same trick works for hummus, salad dressings, or pasta sauces. And don't forget dessert. A healthy cheesecake-style snack is simple. Mix a spoonful of soaked chia with natural yogurt, dairy or plant-based, and a handful of berries. After resting in the fridge, the chia creates a smooth, pudding-like texture that's naturally rich in calcium and fiber. Ground sesame also sneaks perfectly into homemade energy bites, granola bars, or baked treats. The next time you whip up bread, muffins, or cookies, swap 1 tablespoon of flour for ground sesame. The flavor stays balanced, the texture stays moist, and your baked goods suddenly carry extra minerals and healthy fats. By sprinkling, blending, or stirring these seeds into everyday foods, you enrich your diet with barely any effort. It's small changes like these that, added up, make your bones stronger and your meals more satisfying. Hydration and common questions about seeds. When it comes to staying hydrated, especially after a walk, light exercise, or even a warm afternoon, your body doesn't just lose water. It also loses minerals through sweat. A very practical habit is to keep a small jar with about 5 grams of your ground sesame and flax blend. Each time you drink a glass or bottle of water, stir in a pinch of this mix. In just seconds, you're replacing electrolytes, topping up minerals, and sneaking in extra calcium without any effort. And here's the golden principle to always keep in mind: variety and moderation. Don't lock yourself into just one seed. Rotate between sesame, flax, chia, poppy, or pumpkin. Every seed has its own unique nutrient fingerprint, and together they create a full orchestra of benefits, especially for your bones. This way, not only do you avoid flavor fatigue, but you also broaden the protective shield your body receives. The goal is to turn this into a joyful ritual, never a burden. Your bones will thank you for it. Over the years, many of my patients have raised important questions about seeds, and I'd like to clear up the most common ones. The first is, won't seeds make me gain weight? They're so high in calories. It's a fair concern. 2 tablespoons of ground sesame, the amount I typically recommend, give you around 110 calories. That's about the same as 1 slice of whole grain bread or a few cookies. But here's the difference. These are quality calories. Seeds provide fiber, essential minerals, and healthy fats that keep you satisfied and fuel your body. Compare that to empty calories from processed snacks, which fill you but don't nourish you. If you swap those cookies or refined bread for sesame in your yogurt or oatmeal, you're likely to improve your diet without increasing your calorie load. It's not just about the number, it's about nutritional density. Another frequent concern, especially for older adults, is dental comfort. What if I have dentures or weak molars? Won't whole sesame get stuck or cause problems? And that's true. Whole sesame seeds can be bothersome if you have prosthetics, crowns, or sensitive teeth. That's why my suggestion is always to go for the ground form of sesame. Grinding doesn't just make digestion and calcium absorption easier, as we already discussed, but it also avoids the discomfort of seeds sticking between your teeth or gums. Once ground, it blends smoothly into yogurt, shakes, or soft meals like soups and porridges. Problem solved. And all the benefits stay intact. Now, another common and very important question is, can these seeds interfere with my medications? The answer is, sometimes, yes. Calcium itself can lower the absorption of certain medicines, particularly some antibiotics such as tetracyclines and quinolones, as well as thyroid treatments. If you're taking any of these, the safest rule is to space your sesame intake or any calcium-rich food or supplement at least 2 hours before or after your medication. And of course, if you're ever unsure, your doctor or pharmacist should always be your go-to guide. With flaxseed, it's a slightly different story. Its high fiber can delay how the body absorbs medicine if taken too close together. Once again, the solution is simple. Keep a time gap. This way, you enjoy all the benefits of seeds without reducing the effectiveness of your treatments. Another concern is excess. Can I eat sesame all day without limits? And the truth is, moderation always wins. Although sesame is an extraordinary food, it's not advisable to exceed 40 grams daily on a long-term basis. Why? Because like many plants, it also contains oxalic acid. At very high levels, oxalic acid can bind to part of the calcium and slightly reduce its absorption. But when you stick to the recommended 20 grams per day, around 2 tablespoons, The positive effects far outweigh any drawbacks. It's a perfect equilibrium. And here comes one of the questions I hear most often. When will I notice results? This part requires patience, because bones take their time. Studies with bone density scans show measurable improvements usually after 6 months of steady, consistent intake. 6 months may sound long, but remember, you're rebuilding the very structure that keeps you standing tall. The encouraging part is that most people start feeling benefits much earlier. After just 4 to 6 weeks, many patients report smoother digestion thanks to the fiber, less bloating compared to dairy, and even improvements in joint comfort and mobility, particularly in those with osteoarthritis or stiffness. So while bones repair slowly, your body begins sending small, positive signals very quickly. Think of it as an investment that pays off in multiple ways. Stronger bones in the long run, and better digestion, less pain, and more comfort in the short term. If this message has helped you see the potential of these small seeds to transform your bone health and keep your independence, I'd like to ask a simple favor. Please give this video a like. It helps me reach more people who need this information. And most importantly, share it. Maybe you know someone who is at risk of losing mobility or living in fear of a fracture. This could be the key they've been waiting for. Finally, let's make this interactive. Tell me in the comments, what's the first idea you're going to try? Will you sprinkle toasted ground sesame over your morning toast? Or perhaps start with chia mixed into your afternoon yogurt? I love reading your stories, and your ideas inspire many others too. The 5-minute balance trick. Stability for strong bones. Having solid bones is essential, of course. But let's be honest, what good is a strong skeleton if we can't keep our balance and stay upright? Calcium builds strength, but what keeps us safe is stability. And stability, my friends, is simply balance. Falls remain one of the leading causes of fractures in seniors, yet the good news is that many can be avoided with small, simple daily practices. Here's one of my favorite exercises. So easy, you can do it while waiting for the kettle to boil or during a TV commercial. Stand with your feet parallel and shoulder-width apart, firmly planted on the floor. Now, rise gently onto your tiptoes, lifting your heels slowly. Feel the muscles in your calves and legs activate. Count to 3 while holding the position. Then lower your heels with control instead of dropping them down. Repeat this movement 10 times twice a day. It might look simple, but over time it strengthens not just your calves, but more importantly, the posterior tibial muscle, the hidden anchor that helps prevent those sudden forward tumbles so common in older adults. Want to take it a step further? Once you're comfortable, try the one-leg balance. Lift one foot and hold for 10 to 15 seconds, then switch to the other. In the beginning, you can lightly rest a hand against a wall or chair for support. As your confidence grows, aim to do it without holding on. This little trick improves proprioception, your body's awareness of its position, and works the stabilizer muscles in your ankles and hips that keep you steady on uneven ground. Combine this 5-minute practice with your 2 tablespoons of ground sesame each day, and you've got a powerful 1-2 punch. Strength for your bones and stability to protect them from falls. It's a habit that could save you from serious injuries and preserve your independence for years to come. Embrace seeds for lifelong bone strength. Today, we've dismantled one of the longest-standing nutrition myths, that milk is the only reliable way to protect your bones. In reality, nature has handed us small but mighty seeds that, when prepared the right way, provide a stream of calcium and minerals far more effective for bone health, and without the bloating, inflammation, or digestive distress that dairy can bring. Take these 3 lessons with you. First, always toast and grind your sesame. That simple step unlocks its calcium and makes it fully usable for your body. Second, don't depend on just one seed. Rotate and combine sesame with chia, flax, or poppy to create a wide net of nutrients that work together. And third, share this wisdom. Pass it along to your parents, your grandparents, your friends. You could be giving them more than advice. you could be giving them back their confidence and quality of life. If you found today's video useful, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell, because next week I'll share another golden secret. A short, daily routine, just 5 minutes long, that can cut your risk of falling at home in half. Believe me, it's something you'll want to add right away. Until then, keep moving, keep lifting those heels, and may your bones remain strong enough to let you dance at every birthday for many, many more years to come.